Hi, I'm Miss Britton, and today we're going to do more comparison problems with double tape diagrams. Let's take a look at our first problem. Miss C has 4 more cupcakes than Miss Angle. Miss Angle has 16 cupcakes. How many cupcakes does Miss C have? Alright, so I know Miss C has 4 more cupcakes than Miss Angle. And I know Miss Angle has 16 cupcakes. They give me that information. So looking at what they tell us, I know that they both have at least 16 cupcakes because they tell us Miss C has more. So let's go ahead and bake both tapes with 16 cupcakes. I'm going to label one tape C for Miss C, and I'm going to label one tape E for Miss Angle. It's important to label our tapes, that way we know whose cupcakes are whose when we start working with our numbers. So I'm going to give them both 16 in their tape because I know they both have at least 16 cupcakes. Try to make your tapes around the same size because they're both 16, so they're both the same number. Now that I have the first part of both tapes drawn, I can look at my problem again to see what I need to do next. Miss C has 4 more cupcakes than Miss Angle. Miss Angle has 16 cupcakes. All right, so I already gave Miss Angle her 16 cupcakes, so she's all done for now. But it tells me that Miss C has 4 more cupcakes. That word more tells me that I'm going to add to that tape. It's going to get bigger because she has more cupcakes. So I'm going to add to Miss C's tape because I saw that word more. And it tells me 4 more. So it tells me how many more to add. So let's go back and double check. Miss Angle has 16 cupcakes and Miss C has 4 more than that. So our tape diagram looks good so far. Now it's time to find that whole. We have to find Miss C's whole. How many cupcakes does Miss C have in all? So to do that, I can add up both my parts. So I see 16 is one of my parts, plus 4 is my other part. So part plus part equals my whole, and let's count on to find that. So I'm going to start at 16, stick that number in my head, and count on 4 more. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and I'm going to stop there because that's my other part, that's 4. So 16 plus 4 equals 20, and that is how many cupcakes Miss C has. So now I can write my statement to answer that question. They're asking me how many cupcakes does Miss C have? My statement has to answer that question. So I'm going to say Miss C has 20 cupcakes. Great job. Let's try one more. I'll bring it closer so you can see it. Miss Jones has 6 guitars. Mr. Klaus has 4 more guitars than Miss Jones. How many guitars does Mr. Klaus have? So they tell me that Miss Jones has 6 guitars and Mr. Klaus has 4 more guitars. So I'm gonna start out with my 2 tapes because I have 2 people in the story problem. So I'm gonna make a J for Miss Jones and a K for Mr. Klaus. And I label them so I know whose tape is whose. Let me keep going. Miss Jones has 6 guitars. Mr. Klaus has 4 more guitars. So I think Mr. Klaus's tape is going to be bigger because he has 4 more. So let's start out by drawing tapes for both and giving them both 6. I'm labeling them both 6 because I know that both people have at least 6 guitars. So Miss Jones has 6 guitars. There's her tape. Mr. Klaus has 4 more. So I need to make his part of the tape diagram bigger because he has more. And then I'll go back into my story problem. I'll do that read part again if I need a reminder of how to label that extra part of the tape. So Miss Jones has 6 guitars. Mr. Klaus has 4 more, so I added more, and now I need to label that 4 because that's what our story problem told us. How many guitars does Mr. Klaus have? So to find out how many guitars Mr. Klaus has in all, I'm going to add up those parts. So 6 plus 4, part plus part equals our whole. And I can do that by sticking that first number in my head and counting on. So let's try that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I stopped there because I reached my 4 more. And then I'm going to label my whole on that tape diagram. And now I'll revisit my question to write that statement. How many guitars does Mr. Klaus have? So to answer that question, I'm going to say Mr. Klaus has 10 guitars. I hope that helped. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.